Good morning. Today we are going to see the lesson number 6 from 10th standard science 2. The lesson number 6, animal classification. We are going to see the meaning of classification. Then we will see the chart. Then we will see animal classification, benefits of animal classification. Then conventional system of animal classification, and then we will see the criteria for new system of animal classification. So first we will see what is classification. So the classification can be categorization. Classification may be said as a variety. It can be said as a sorting, and it can be systematic arrangement of anything. So what is the purpose of classification? So we will see the purpose of classification: to make easy to understand, to make easy to find out, make easy to present, and the most important is to reduce time. So we will see now the chart of classification. The living organisms has been classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are under kingdom Monera, that is the first kingdom. There are 5 kingdoms. So the prokaryotes are the kingdom Monera. The animals which have nucleus without nuclear membrane are called prokaryotes. So the organisms or living organisms having nucleus without nuclear membrane can be said as prokaryotes, and these are come under Monera. So next is eukaryote, true nucleus. The organisms having cell with true nucleus are called eukaryote organisms, and these living organisms has been classified into unicellular and multicellular. Now this classification is based on cellular level. So the cellular level classification is the organism having uni matlab one, uni means one, multi two, more than 2 cells. So eukaryotes are classified into multicellular and unicellular. The unicellular organisms come under the kingdom Protista. The kingdom Protista organisms are unicellular, those organisms which have single cell. The body is made up of single cell. Examples: amoeba, paramecium. These are the examples. Amoeba, paramecium, euglena. These are the unicellular organisms come under Protista. Next, multicellulars are again divided into 2. The first is autotrophic and second one is heterotrophic organisms. Okay, the autotrophic organisms are again divided into 2, that is the organisms having cell wall and the others having cell without cell wall. So the organisms with cell wall are the called plants, and these come under kingdom Plantae. These are the plants. Next, the autotrophs without cell wall are called fungi, and they come under kingdom Fungi. That is the third kingdom. Plant is the fourth kingdom. And the multicellular organisms are classified into heterotrophs, and these heterotrophs are kingdom Animalia. The total animals come under this kingdom Animalia. So autotrophs. In trophic level, autotrophic organisms are those organisms which prepare their own food, and the heterotrophs, hetero means they are dependent on other organisms for their food. The next topic, that is conventional system of animal classification. In this conventional system of animal classification, kingdom Animalia is divided or classified into two subkingdoms, subkingdom non-chordates and subkingdom chordates. So subkingdom non-chordates is divided into 10 phylum. The first, Protozoa, Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. Again, the subkingdom Chordata is divided into the phylum Chordata, subphylum Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. This subphylum Vertebrata is again divided into class Cyclostomata, Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and mammals. Next is a criteria for new system of classification. So the criteria of new system of classification is divided into A, B, C, D, E. A, grades of organization: protoplasmic, cellular grade of organization, tissue cell grade of organization, tissue organ grade of organization and system organ grade of organization. In protoplasmic grade of organization, all the functions are performed by the same cell only, and the best example is amoeba and paramecium. These are the examples of protoplasmic grade of organization. Then we will see the cellular grade of organization. In case of multicellular organisms, if tissue are not formed, the body organization is called as a cellular grade of organization, and the best example is phylum Porifera. In case of animals having the tissue with which they perform their all functions, and such animals are called as a cell tissue grade of organization, and the example is animals of phylum Cnidaria. Next, flatworms also show tissue organ grade of organization, and in this type of organization, the type of organized tissue are complete, their organ system are not formed. In case of flatworms, the tissue organ grade of organization is observed, and in this type of organization, tissues are organized to form the organ which will be doing the functions of that animal. And the last one, that is organ system grade of organization, in which different organs are joined together to form the organ system that performs specific function, and the examples are crab, frog and human. Now we will see the body symmetry. The body symmetry is again divided into two criteria: asymmetrical organisms and symmetrical organisms. The symmetrical organisms are again divided into bilateral symmetry and radial symmetry. In bilateral symmetry, you can see the symmetrical body. The body is divided into two halves, two parts. That is bilateral symmetry. Next, the asymmetrical body does not have any bifurcation. Radial symmetry, it can be having, body can be divided into according to radius, that is radial symmetry. As you can cut in any plane that will divide along the diameter. And next three parts, that is germ layers, that is diploplastic. Diplo means two germ layers are there, and the triplo means three germ layers are there. The germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These are the three germ layers along the body. The first is outer layer, second and the third one. In the diploblastic animals, the mesoderm is absent, so it is called as a diploblastic animals. And in triploblastic animals, three germ layers are present, therefore it is called triploblastic animals. In phylum Cnidaria, we can observe the diploblastic organisms, and the remaining organisms will have triploblastic animals. Next is body cavity. Body cavity is again divided into three categories, criteria. The first is acoelomate animals, second is pseudocoelomate animals, and third is eucoelomate animals. The cavity between the body and the internal organ is called the body cavity or the coelom. This body cavity is between body and the layers, and if this coelom is present, these animals are called as eucoelomate animals. Then if it is only present false, then it is called as a pseudocoelomate animals, and it is absent. If that coelom is absent, the animals are called as a acoelomate animals. In animal kingdom, eucoelomate animals are from phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. The pseudocoelomate animals are present in Aschia helminthes. Acoelomate animals are present in Platyhelminthes as well as Cnidaria.